Courtney Lynn. So this is going to be my 36/37 week update. I'm currently 36 weeks and 3 days. And I'm going to kind of pick up where I left off my last video. I think I was like 33 weeks. Um, so, like I said in my last video, I had an ultrasound on April 19th, and I was 33 weeks and 5 days at that ultrasound. And she finally caught up. So, for those of you who don't know, she's measured small, just like a week or two behind, just kind of varied since around like 20 weeks. And actually, I think before then, we just, we had our 20-week ultrasound, but we had the gender ultrasound, and they don't really focus on like the age or anything like that, so it wasn't mentioned. But when I go back and look at it, she did measure small at that ultrasound as well. So anyways, she's caught up. I don't know how much of it has to do with her just catching up and having a growth spurt, or how much of it has to do with the gestational diabetes. But her, let's see, I was 33 weeks and 5 days, and she was measuring 33 weeks and 6 days, and she was in the 50th percentile, so right on, perfect. Her heart rate was 128 beats per minute, which from my non-stress test that I've had, that's like 130, 135 seems to be around where her baseline usually is. So that was normal for her. And she weighed 4 pounds and 12 ounces at that ultrasound. So that was that. We didn't get very many good pictures because she was head down and she was facing my spine like always. Well, not always, but like she usually is. And I was okay with that. I would take her being head down over getting good pictures at this point. So she did try to do a 3D picture for us, and all we really got, I kept thinking that I saw her ear, and she's like, yeah, that's her ear, and she's like, here, I'll get a 3D shot of the ear since we can't really get anything else. So she did a little 3D shot of the ear, and I'll put that picture in here real quick. So yeah, I thought that was cute. Like I said, I've been having the non-stress tests. I think I mentioned them. They started on April 8th. And I think the last video was from April 16th. So I've been doing those 2 times a week. And she has done great. There have been a couple days where there was one day that I wasn't really feeling well. If I take a shower that's too hot, I get like super, super dizzy. And that was the case. So I really wasn't feeling well, and I was like an emotional wreck. I had a week where I was just, I was a wreck. And it was in that week that the scan was. So I wasn't feeling well, so I wasn't really like moving around or whatever, and I was tired. And so she was just kind of, she was fine. Her heart rate was fine. She wasn't active. She wasn't moving around. And like I said before, they look for her to move around and have accelerations of her heart rate. So I found out what happens if they don't. They have this little like buzzer, and it basically just like vibrates. But she said it's like an alarm clock for us, but for the baby. So, excuse me, she buzzed her, and she jumped, and then she woke up and started moving around and stuff. And so she's like, oh, that's good, your baby can hear. She's like, she just passed her first hearing test. So that was cool. She did have to buzz her one other time, just like last week, I think. And she just, as soon as she did it, she jumped and then started moving around and stuff. So she can hear. And then I had, my last non-stress test was yesterday. And they said she was the baby of the day. she did great, and she was the top performer of the day. So that's good. She's definitely doing really good. My blood sugars are doing good. Like I said, I've kind of figured out what I can and can't eat. I feel like I'm getting a little more relaxed with it. Now that I'm getting closer, I'm not being as strict, which I need to keep on it because it could be another full month before she's born, so I really do need to keep on it. Blood pressure was up a little bit. in like the 130s, like 136 to 138, but the bottom number was always like between 75 and like 85. So I talked to them about it both at the hospital, like the specialist or whatever, and at my OB, and neither of them seemed concerned. And then the OB told me if the top number is in the 140s or the bottom number is in the 90s to call, and then they'll probably up my medication. But until then, she said the 130s is fine and the bottom number is staying low, so she said it's fine. So wait, I think this has to do with me getting a little more relaxed about like what I'm eating and stuff, and like my blood sugar levels are for the most part perfectly fine. The one that's usually a little bit high, and like it's supposed to be under 120 after breakfast, and it's like the one day it was 128 and the one day it was like 124. So it's not like super high, but after breakfast sometimes that's the one that gets a little high. But I gained 8 pounds in the last 3 weeks, which I guess isn't like horrible, but in the last video, I had gained like nothing in the last 3 weeks. So from nothing to 8 pounds, I'm like, ugh. So I'm at 225, which for anybody who's been around since the start, that is the weight that I started at when I started my channel and started losing weight. So I'm back to that. I really didn't want to go over that, but it's probably gonna happen. So total I've gained 30 pounds because I started the pregnancy at 195. So that's where that's at. I haven't had any contractions. I have had not like period cramps where it's really bad, but like the day or two before you start your period and you're just kind of like uncomfortable, just kind of little crampy, like super low, like by my pelvic bones and stuff. I've had that quite a bit the last few days. And then probably like a week ago for several days, had like a stabbing, this is probably TMI, near, like it felt like it was like in my vagina, but basically I think my cervix, it was just kind of like a stabbing pain. And the doctor said that was normal, just things spreading and getting ready and whatever. And I think that she is starting to drop down into my pelvis and things are starting to spread, which is good. We're definitely moving in the right direction. I think they call it lightning when the baby drops down and you can kind of start to breathe better, which I think that is starting to happen. But I keep saying to everyone that I know when I talk about it, it doesn't feel anything like nothing's getting lighter. Let's just say that, because I can breathe better, but oh my goodness, this child on my bladder and like the pressure down there, it's not light. So that's what's going on with that. I am super curious for tomorrow. I have my first cervical check. So I'm really curious to see where I'm at. I don't think that I'll be dilated at all or anything, but with like I said, with all this like pressure and like feeling like things are starting to move, I'm really curious. I'm starting to grow impatient. So, I had my Group B strep test last week, and I actually, while I was getting ready to make this video, I actually got an email with my results, and it's negative, so yay, we're good there. No antibiotics needed for me. That test, not so pleasant. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, I will be considered full term, or 37 weeks, on Sunday, which is crazy to me. I mean, it's like absolutely crazy. Jason's starting to get nervous. He's like, it's really starting to hit him that it really could be any day now. And a couple of people have asked me like when I think that I'll go into labor, and if I think I'll go early, or if I think that I'll go to my due date. And basically, it depends on what hour it is. Because half the time I feel like I could go at any second, like when I'm feeling really crampy or when she's like down low or whatever. I literally just feel like I could go at any second. And then the other half of me, sometimes I feel like I'm probably going to go overdue. Thinking realistically. But we'll see. So everything's going really good. I think that I'm moving in the right direction. Um, quick funny story. Of course, I've been looking like everything up as far as like signs that you're going to go into labor, this or that or whatever. And I read something that said that your animals will like be really clingy and follow you around. It's ridiculous, but whatever. But my cat usually, Jason works third shift, and so he's not home at night. So normally, the dog sleeps in her crate, like by the end of the bed, and the cat usually does not even come up to the bedroom with me. Like sometimes if he gets home late, because he usually like will give her a bunch of attention when he gets home from work. So sometimes if he gets home late and it's that normal time when he's supposed to get home, she'll come wake me up and want attention. But other than that, she usually like does not even come up to the bedroom. Last night, she literally came up to bed with me and she sometimes she'll kind of crawl on me or like, you know, get in my face or like just press on my hand like nonstop until I pet her, and then I just get annoyed, like go away and let me sleep. But she literally came up and she got on the bed and I was laying on my side and kind of like curled up. She laid down right next to my stomach and she curled up in a ball and she slept there all night. I went to bed around 1 a.m. and I woke up around 7 when Jason got home, or right before he got home, and she was still sleeping in the exact same spot, curled up in a ball next to me. And then once he got home, when she heard him, she ran down. But yeah. I'm like, is Colby trying to tell me something? um Anyways, other than that, the only other thing that's been different is I have been super, super hot. The last several nights I wake up like drenched in sweat. Like I literally, 2 nights ago, could barely even sleep. I think Jason had turned the air, like made it warmer. I think he had it on like 72, and I have no idea why because he usually likes it like freezing. So, I woke up so many times, and I even turned it down a little before I went to bed, but I was so hot. And again, last night, when I woke up and she was still next to me, I was like burning up. So I don't know what that's about, but that's the only other thing. So I think that's it. I want to do a nursery tour video, a what's my diaper bag video, and a what's in my hospital bag video. We'll see if I get to all of those and continue with the updates. I've been horrible lately about doing videos, but I'm going to try to get those done. I have the diaper bag partially packed. I have my bag partially packed, but I need to finish it up. And her nursery is mostly done. There's a couple things I have to hang on the wall, and there's like a couple things that are still in here that need to go out, and we'll see. That one might be after she comes, because she's not going to sleep in her room right away anyway. She's going to be in our room with us. So, we'll see. But I think that's it. I hope everybody is doing good, and I will see you all later.